uncreative way to just attend press conferences, press releases, dossiers, in a very passive way. The news come to you. It's not that you find the news, that the news, you just repackage the news. I mean, this is not journalism, this is public relations. Of course, interaction with the audience. And today, in the online world, one of the reasons that is so successful, many of the media that are based on online platforms, is that all of us, we know it's... How many in this room, please raise your hands, are right now on Facebook? Well, not too many.
Right now?
No. That you have an account, or you have...
Taking it literally, so... Right now, we're on Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, that's so.
Whatever you say is being exposed to the world.
And then what about Twitter? How many are in Twitter? Well, half. Okay. Facebook? Half. How many of you know what is the best-selling video game right now in your country? Nobody. One.
Probably be Sims or something. Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing, and this is one of the reasons that newspapers are in crisis. And we say, young readers, they don't read newspapers. Of course they don't read newspapers. Why? Because newspapers, they don't reflect the reality. You know that right now in the United States, in Europe, in Brussels, young people, teenagers, they spend more money every week on video games than going to the movies. This is a general trend around the world. Today, young people, your children, spend more money every week in video games than going to the movies. And how many pages we devoted in our newspapers to video games? And I asked you, this is an audience that I don't know exactly who are you. I suspect that you are interested in media and innovation, blah, blah, blah. But I do this question, I ask this question all the time with newsrooms, with our clients, when we start to work with them, to know them. And it's amazing. The same reaction. 2 or 3 people are able to know which is the... And they know it, sometimes because they are very gear guys and they play video games, not too many. But the children, you see that the children, they are completely... They know. You go to a school, a secondary school here in Brazil, and you ask the question, what is the best-selling video game in Brazil? Everybody. And then... If that's the reality. The reality is that we try to cover the world, the news, and we ignore in a very dramatic way the main interests of big groups of our society, like the young people. This is in the United States, is especially dramatic. Not in Sweden, not in some European countries that we have very good color. Of course, many of our clients in the last 2-3 years, they have won the best design newspapers of the world, the best design newspapers in Europe that we have produced for them. And Europe right now is leading this. It used to be United States, but not anymore. This year there were 4 newspapers that were considered the best design newspapers in the world. No one of them was from the United States. In the past, all of them, they were from the United States. But design is crucial. A newspaper is, if you go to your living room, in your house, look around the room. Look at this room. Look at everything. This is modern. This is nice. Everything is updated. I mean, it's really, look at these lights. It's very interesting. Everything is modern. But if you show a newspaper right now in this room, this is the only product that it looks very old. Very, very old. And if it's La Libre Belchica, I can tell you that it looks like 18th century. That means The new generations are the iPod generations, the IKEA generations. I mean, newspapers, they have to have the same look and feeling. If not, they will not survive. This is clear. Keep incompetent people in your company, especially in the top positions, and then it will be very good for the end of your business. Pay them very badly, not just badly, very badly. And of course, don't innovate. Cash the cow, that has been now the dramatic situation in many successful and very powerful companies, that they were just not investing anything, just taking all the money and expect miracles. Well, if this is the way to kill a newspaper, what is the way to save newspapers? What is the way to improve, to innovate newspapers? Let me present to you one thing that we presented last June in Gothenburg during the World Newspaper Congress in Sweden. And for the first time, innovation decided not to talk, but to show, to do. That means that we said, okay, let's create a very well idea and present a prototype for what we consider must be the newspaper, the print newspaper of the future. And we did it. And now we are working in projects to produce this paper. It is a very generic concept. That means it could be, and now there are several examples right now in the market in Europe, in the United States, following this concept. But this was the original idea. Then we said, okay, let's prototype the future. And we created a product called 3030. 3030. Let's talk and more doing. That means that less memos and more demos. This industry, newspapers, they need innovations. They need to do things different. Newspapers, all of them, they look alike around the world. Just only the masthead and the language. But it's a very, very similar product everywhere in the world. Could be broadsheet, could be tabloid, but you immediately see, oh, this is a newspaper. Can we do something that is a newspaper but looks really fantastic? This is 3030. It's what we call news caviar. Journalism caviar. It's less of more, more of less. It's very graphic, avant-garde, very sophisticated. We say it's like, let's suppose that The Economist is a daily. How it will be The Economist as a daily? It's not the same format, but it's a pocket-sized news scene. It's a mix of newspaper and magazine that offers a coverage of the news in deep, short, it's handy, it's smart, it's sharp, it's newsy, it's punchy, it's friendly, it's analytic, it's different, it's full color, it's compelling, it's easy to read. Because today it's more important to be the best than to be the first. The crisis of newspapers is that we want to break news when all the news are, we know all the news when we get it in the print. And Newsweek magazine is launching this week a new formula to survive. You know, it's all the news weeklies around the world, they are in big trouble too. And I was reading the chairman of Newsweek saying last week in the Financial Times, a very interesting concept, said, okay, we cannot be the first war about anything. When we appear 1 week after things happen, we cannot be the first war, but we can be the last war. Be very authoritative, very analytical, say, okay, about this issue, this is it. I think that this is a very, very interesting approach, but it's an approach also for newspapers, for 3030. I said it's